What's good? This is the Trapping with Gods podcast.
Why you
I'm
laughing?
Angela.
She laughing already.
Hello. What's your
I'm
name?
Keisha. What's good?
Yeah. Thank you for tapping in with us. We are so grateful to be here with this part two.
Part two.
We left y'all.
Let it go.
Part two, let it go. We left y'all last week. Keisha over here.
Yeah, this bitch left us.
Getty. She was about to get into her story.
They don't know why they used to call me Getty Green, y'all.
Getty Green.
Getty Green.
I didn't really call you
What's
that.
that?
I mean, because I didn't go to school with y'all.
You
Y'all all had
fucking
nicknames for
somebody
each
up.
other.
Oh. Yeah, we used to have these little names we call each other and shit. Anyway, but getting back into it, I was up here being very candid about my fucking life, y'all.
Mhm.
And once again, like I said, shout out to my daughter's father and his wife. Like, we really come a really fucking long way, y'all. We really have come a long way from all of the drama. But just in regards to my personal fucking life, like, I'm sure they got their own personal experiences with all of this stuff that has happened between us. But just my personal fucking experience with talking about letting shit go. Where did I leave off last time?
You were telling the story, like, you were telling the story about how things haven't always been how they are.
Yeah, things haven't always been how they are. So like I was saying when we left off, I was with my daughter's father. We was together for 6 years. In the midst of that, he was unfaithful. And he was unfaithful with his now wife. At the time, we didn't know anything about each other, to my knowledge. But nevertheless, long story short, we both ended up getting pregnant. Our relationship ended, and he eventually married his wife now. Mm-hmm. And so for me,
we were kind of laughing too, because you were like, what you were feeling.
I was getting hyped.
Yeah,
I was getting fucking
you being vulnerable. Also,
I'm being very vulnerable right now.
I feel like those high pitches.
Yeah,
I'm being
very fucking candid right now because that's still some things I'm working on within myself. That's what that says, number one, mm-hmm. in which I'm not afraid to admit that.
And y'all remember we talking about letting go, so this is all that's coming up for us.
Absolutely. So definitely, that was hitting some of those blockages that Michael Singer that he often refers to in the process of letting go. So for me, just realizing, y'all, that was a very fucking painful situation for me. And at the time that I was, and it was during a time where I was pregnant with my daughter. In my mind, first of all, let's talk about getting unexpectedly pregnant. Of course I was doing everything to fucking be pregnant, but these things come, you feel like these things come out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it came. I wasn't ready. I didn't want it. There you go. I didn't want it to happen that way. Yeah. But it did. And so on top of the other shit, the infidelity, a loss of a relationship, being with somebody that you really, really love, the shit, and I was pregnant and alone, y'all. Like, that's how I felt. Mm-hmm. And it was very fucking painful. So much so when the shit started unfolding, y'all, like in my life, when the shit started unfolding, I didn't know how to fucking handle that shit. I really just didn't know how to fucking handle this shit. Was literally happening before my eyes, and it was going fast. I couldn't do anything to fucking control it. It was the end of the relationship. I was pregnant, had the baby. She had her baby, actually. I had mine. Then next thing I know, they was getting married. And it was just like, how the fuck do you deal with that shit? I just didn't know. I think looking at it hindsight, I literally did the best thing that I could do and try to fucking fuck. I ain't even gonna lie. I literally went out there.
I'm like you.
I literally started online dating. I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah. I'm gonna be real with you. I was online dating for a very, very long time.
Okay.
Trying to suppress.
This was
the pain.
Okay.
And we gonna be fucking candid. I've heard this shit. People like the easiest way to get over somebody is to get up under another one.
Else.
Y'all don't do
Ain't
that
shit. Ain't that the truth, honey? I'm just
she over here. She over here fucking perpetuating
Ain't that the
that
damn
bullshit.
truth? No, I don't think
to
that.
me it's
I don't think
bullshit.
that.
I know you don't think that, but for me it's bullshit because I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm a living, walking, breathing example of that's not the fucking remedy.
Yeah.
And did that so much so, and y'all, I don't know, I'm airing out all the shit, just being very candid, but ended up getting married to someone. And
Were you online dating when you met? When you like,
met
had
my
you been
ex-husband.
online dating for the last till you met?
I feel
the
like it was
ex-husband?
on and off. Yes, I met my husband online, my
That's
ex-husband
interesting.
online.
I got questions offline or whatever we decide, but
This
about
bitch.
your, I didn't know that because I feel like online dating it's a world of shit. So you been in that world?
I
You
was in that world for a
for
very long time,
Huh,
on and off,
interesting. Okay, so
on and off, trying to meet somebody. Because
Mm-hmm.
that, and I had met some people, definitely some very interesting people I ran into, and had fun along the way, but was really on a mission, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. I was on a mission to find someone to fix it.
Yeah, you didn't realize it.
I didn't realize it at the time, and it just kept perpetuating that fucked up cycle.
All the while you were not
I wasn't conscious
of what had happened. You ain't let it burn.
and I didn't let it burn, and I wasn't conscious
Okay.
of what was going on either. I literally was making a lot of unconscious moves.
Okay.
I feel like
then the divine thing
here
happened.
you go. You say everything is divine, so apparently everything I was out there doing gets led up to this whatever I am, where I am today. I can't even not think about none of those. I can't think about none of those things not happening because they are part of me, my being.
And I think that's where, do you find it to be difficult to say, like, I didn't want this to happen? Because if it didn't
happen,
yeah, then it was like it had to happen.
It happened.
Right.
You know, I'm saying it happened. I don't know any other reality outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even sit here. I think I had told you the other day, like, you had texted me. It was like, what would the new Keisha do? Mm-hmm. And I was about to go off too. I was like, what would the new? And then it was like, and I feel like that probably was God, like being conscious of. I was conscious of the fact that I can say from this day forth what maybe the new Keisha would do, but then maybe not, because I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like, I'm living today, man. I'm living today for what it is, but I couldn't go back. I couldn't even go back and say what. I guess for me, when you said what would the new Keisha do, I was thinking like from a blank slate all the way back. Like,
no, I was just thinking.
No, that's but my mind. Okay. I know what you meant.
Yeah, but your mind went.
That's where my mind went. And I think sometimes I think that's a part of me in my process of letting go now, because I try to replay my mind.
Gotta let go process.
I'm in the process right now. I'm in the process right now. This is the part of my letting go and releasing. But in hindsight, I think that was a part of what was perpetuating my pain, because I wanted to just go back. I didn't want any of it to have happened. You know what I mean? Not my daughter. Like, you know, and I think before we were on camera, before I cried about that, because I was like, that would be saying that I never would have had my daughter. Right. And I don't want to ever not experience life without her. But I think that was a part of me perpetuating my pain, because I'm like, if I could just go back and do it over, but I can't do it. It happened. Mm-hmm. That shit happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It happened. And that's just my version. Of course, there were some things in the relationship.
Yeah.
And he and I could talk about it candid now. I mean,
y'all have.
Yeah, there were some things definitely that wasn't right in our relationship. Me going back and looking back at it now, but yeah, just the way it happened was fucked up.
Yeah, I think you and him have a beautiful the relationships that you have with him and his wife, and everybody. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful, and I think it should.
Now it's beautiful.
Yeah, but I think what you were talking to me a little bit offline, and that was like you processing, or did you process the things that happened? Like,
I don't think I fully did.
Yeah.
That's why I said I'm in it now personally, mm-hmm. for my own personal. I'm finally, and it's a lot of things have surfaced for me. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. A lot of things have surfaced for me. the pain, just acknowledging. That's how come I'm like, damn, it's some shit to this Michael Singer thing, because it has to be, because I wouldn't even have felt the pain, the stuff that I'm feeling now. I'm finally allowing myself to process it. It's very painful.
Yeah.
It's so much so, like he said in a episode of something you sent me, the one I was saying about letting it go and stuff like that, that it's just like it felt before.
Bringing it, like allowing
That
yourself
same
to
exact feel.
come up and
Yes.
let it go.
Yes.
Because it's like you have let it go, you know, in a way. I'm not trying to speak for you, but what I felt is like sometimes it's like the fear of letting something go, but you already have let it go.
Yeah.
Does that resonate? Any like?
Yeah, I think I can understand where you're coming from.
Okay.
Yeah. I think more so it was the pain for me that I did not want to feel. Like, and I feel like, honestly, if I would have like and I did allow myself to fully feel the pain for a little bit, maybe 9 months. And then it was like, I felt when my daughter came, like it started to get crazy. Like the emotions were even worse, because I may have even went through postpartum at that time, not looking back at it, but it was that was rough. See how I'm scratching my head? I'm like, I don't even know how I got through that shit.
Scratching her head, boy, it's like,
I honestly don't even know how I got through that shit. But that's when my hypertension started to develop too. Like, I know I was diagnosed with hypertension probably a year after my daughter was born, and has had it ever since. But just suppressing shit, man, just trying to keep shit from affecting me, because it's like, as a mother, you don't know what that shit gonna do to you. Like, you don't know if you can handle it. Like, I remember I journaled one time saying I didn't know how I was going to take care of my daughter. Like, I didn't know how I was going to do any of that shit, especially emotionally. So I felt like in order to take care of her, I had to suppress it so I could function. That was the way I handled it.
okay.
It could have been a lot of other infinite possibilities that could have happened. I mean, but that was at the time, that's how I chose to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you just said that.
Infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how you just said that, the recognition of that. But that's real. I feel like a lot of women probably feel like that. I mean, I don't have kids, but I could understand, like, oh, I need to, and I feel like a lot of women do it's like, how do you be a mother and fucking take care of yourself?
Absolutely.
You know,
I don't want to sit here. It could be with any experience, you know what I mean? But shout out to my daughter's bonus mom. She's a great woman, beautiful woman, beautiful soul. We actually are very more similar than what I thought. You know, the more and more we talk, the more and more we get acquainted, and I actually consider her a friend of mine. But this is when you start to get more in your God consciousness, when you can step out of situations. That's what he's talking about, and you can look at them for what they really are. And she also went through some shit it wasn't just me. Of course, I was the one in my body and my skin, but now that I'm getting more conscious now, she was going, imagine that. I can only imagine what the fuck she was experiencing.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? That's what I think about, or what my daughter's father was experiencing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, to even take a step back and look at it from that perspective it's definitely showing growth on my end. But just more so personally, I know it was just a lot of shit that I hadn't dealt with, that I literally, Angela, tried to lock up, bitch, and run from, and go fuck it out and get married. That'll fix it.
Marry it out. Marry it away.
Yeah, it's that made me think of the Solange song, Cranes in the Sky, because she talks about that. Talks about a lot of stuff.
We're gonna play that, and we're gonna play that at the end of the episode.
But yeah, I think that's what that song embodies: letting it go, being able to let it go. Man, it's rough. Sometimes them goddamn cranes in the sky, they just don't want to goddamn let you be great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that, man. But it's been a beautiful process for me. Scary as fuck, I will say, but it's been beautiful nevertheless. But yeah, letting it go, y'all. I don't want to. We not talking like some of these people out here, spiritual people. want to make it seem like, because sometimes Mickey I be like, Mickey, you done been through this shit now, bro. You done went to a cave, done built your log cabin in the woods like Buddha, nigga. We trying to build our cabin too and trying to figure that shit out so we can come back out with that enlightenment. You know what I mean?
I like how you just said
well,
that.
sometimes he be like, yeah, what is it? Just kills me.
I mean, it's kind of, but it's
beautiful. Life is just beautiful.
Yeah, when
all
he
of
was
us ain't there
like, if you smell a skunk and you smell it, like, you could just be like, oh my God, it just stinks so bad. And it's just like, no, have you ever, I feel like I smelled a skunk before.
Bitch, I ain't never
like, you ever
skunk.
been on the highway and it's just something that just
trash, garbage, death?
I just feel like that's a skunk. Like, that shit be so damn loud. It takes over the car for the next half
never
mile.
Fucking seen no damn skunk. Then talking about something, I just feel like that's a skunk. Bitch.
No, I'm for real. Like, that's what it is.
Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is then. Damn it, it's a skunk. All this time there been a skunk over there on I-20 West. I'm sick of that damn skunk because every time it's a certain spot I pass on that motherfucker, I could be vibing and everything. Got my sunroof open and I pass goddamn, I think a little bit by Fulton Industrial, bitch. It start getting a little.
It's probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so he just like, but to think about that, to laugh at that.
Yeah, like he said, if somebody cuts you off and your car goes to skid, it's beautiful. It's exciting.
Exactly. I'm like,
no, the fuck it's not, Mickey. It's not exciting.
But he's just saying your mind, you can decide whatever you want to about a situation.
Yes, you can.
But I think also what it comes up for me, or maybe what you're talking about too, is like it's a thin line between that and like acknowledging whatever, you know, feelings you're having about it.
Yeah.
And not just, because a lot of times we probably would end up suppressing it by not acknowledging it or trying to be like, oh, that was a great experience. And
yeah, but sometimes it take a little minute to get there. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be able to look at it from that note.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not, somebody cut me off in motherfucking traffic, I'm not gonna be just like,
yeah,
God damn it, this is exciting and fun, nigga. I'm hoping I don't die.
You might like, now that you are being more conscious, you might be like
more conscious.
You might be like, thank you, God, I'm alive, or not be upset, or, you know, whatever.
Or like he said, next time you know what to do when somebody cut your ass off and you go skid. You might have took a driving course and now you know how to, like, you know what I'm saying? You might turn a certain way, or if you hydroplane, you know, I don't know, I ain't never hydroplane, but I know a certain tactics of things you might know for next time. You're more conscious of it. That's God. Like,
the way you say that,
it is.
I feel like we be on repeat. Like, you always say that's conscious, and you say that's God. And
that's
like,
God.
I love that shit.
That's
like,
God. Cause I literally in my marriage, I was like, somebody come save me. I was like, please, God, save me. Ain't nobody come save me. I literally made a decision to say marriage is not right. It's not working. Maybe I made a decision to get married and this is not what I wanted. Maybe I told myself, hey, well, maybe you thought this would fix whatever problem you was having or that you try to suppress or whatever. You know what I mean? But God ain't coming. God ain't nobody dropping from the sky to do shit. That's just my take on it. But that's how I used to pray too. I used to pray like God, please. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with praying that, but that literally made me be like, what is God? Because it's this, I ain't being saved. Like, this ain't working for me. Something ain't, he ain't help. If God is all these things, what is the, why am I experiencing this in my life? Like, why is my life like this? You know what I'm saying? And that's when I started to do more studies on God. I think I've always been told what God was to me. Like, people telling me what God's supposed to be. And that's when I started. I feel like we went through this on our first episode on about trapping. But yeah, but either way, I'm getting
into it. Because I'm like, that gets into like us talking about what and who God is to us.
Yes.
And I always be wondering, like, the more that I now, like, I pray, I'm more aware of like what I'm doing or like feeling or being connected, you know, because I feel like you saying you were told what God is to you, and in that for me was like God is outside of me. God is like but it's like if you really think about it, like what are you doing? You're praying. What are you doing?
Well, I was praying to something outside of me, because that's what I thought God was. I'm like, yeah, I was literally the state of my awareness from where I was praying from was outside of me, not going within myself and saying, okay, this is something you're going through right now. Like, this is a very fucked up situation, and it's okay to be hurt. It's okay to, and just allowing myself to address and heal my inner spirit, because that's really what was affected, my inner spirit. And that's your connection. I feel like that is God, your very connection to God, in my opinion, inside.
This is making me think about, so I was talking to, remember I tell you I was talking to my aunt the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, do you read the Bible? And she was like, yeah. She's like, I had to if my mama said if we don't get baptized and we gotta move out of her house, we gotta go. I said, how old were you? She said 12.
Oh,
and she started laughing. She just be so happy. She's like, because that's when God called Jesus, he was 12. I said, oh. And then she said,
but that when God called Jesus, that don't mean that's when you gonna get called.
Well, that I guess that's when he started to like give sermons, or that's when he first gave his first, which I didn't know that. Did you?
Medea moment.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think what happened with this shit about to be so Medea, y'all.
You know who you remind me of right now? You remind me of Peter in the Bible. You know who Peter was? Peter was one of the 12 disciplines.
What had happened was, didn't his parents lose him or something, and he was in the temple. He was in the temple somewhere, and they didn't realize they had lost him, so they went back and looked for him, and they found him, and he was like, didn't you know like where I was gonna be? Jesus was like, didn't you know where I would be, like in my Father's house?
Oh, is that where that came from?
Like,
that
yeah,
was
like
he was 12.
Yes.
Oh.
I believe.
Okay.
Medea moment.
Okay. I definitely heard that before that last part. I was in my Father's house.
Yeah.
But I didn't know
then
nothing
you know
about
like
his, it made me curious about what his first sermon was, and what him being 12. Like, what the hell he was talking about?
Well, I don't recall nothing about no sermon at 12.
So,
so that's what I recall about 12.
That's what. Wait,
but
if it's not about him being 12, then what do you recall about 12?
That's like that right there.
It's like a book?
Dad. I'm talking about Dad when they went looking for him, and he was like, you ain't know I was going to be. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, but you said it might not have been a sermon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We acting like we know Jesus personally. I feel like it because he be speaking to me.
So she was like, yeah, because she said God was getting old, so Jesus had to come in. And I was thinking,
God was getting old, so Jesus had
I wanted to ask so much more. I wanted to be like, what do you mean God was getting old? And then I was like, just let it go, Angela. It's a great time right now. I've been like feeling like I just been looking at you. I haven't looked at the camera. I have enjoyed this conversation.
Same. We gonna get Angela to reveal some goddamn provocative shit about her life.
I'm not completely.
I'm on the motherfucking stand. On the last 2 episodes, I've been on the stand.
I'm not completely closed off to it, but yeah,
we gotta work it. You gotta work up to it.
I
felt moved.
That's what I'm saying.
I just felt moved. He's like, fuck it. I did.
I'm a goddamn. And so if y'all tapped in on this episode and you were wondering like what we were talking about the episode before, we had to cut it to give y'all a little cliffhanger on that first part.
Angela wanted to be provocative and shit.
You know, something, and we need content, so.
Is she not living her truth right now?
Yeah.
You better live your truth.
Cut and then create another, like, boom, knock it out.
Yeah.
So.
But it felt good, and you know, yeah.
That's
a part of me letting go.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing. And
absolutely.
I'm sure they're grateful also.
Absolutely.
The vulnerability Like, that's why we're here. We trapping right now.
We trapping. That's trapping, man.
Yeah.
Truth. Being truthful with yourself. Truth is God. That's love. It's all one. Consciousness
is God.
We wrapping this thing up, man. Yeah. Check in with us every Wednesday. Trapping with guys, y'all. We just appreciate y'all hanging with us because we working on goods and I working on being more consistent with our content. But for those of you that have just been following us and hanging in there, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. All of y'all love and support. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it.
I know. Before we go,
yes.
This is. I feel like you're gonna be fine with it. It's a little impromptu.
She answering for me, y'all.
I know, because I just feel like you're gonna be okay with this. But I'm like, I want to ask them if they want to email us, if they want to be a guest.
Oh shit, do it.
They can email us.
Ahead,
do it. So if anybody's watching and you want to be a guest on the podcast, we want to start taking guests pretty soon.
Hell
so
yeah.
Email us if you're interested in being on the pod. And the email address is trappingwithgods@gmail.com. And that's trapping with no G.
TRAPPIN with gods.
Don't forget the S at the end of gods.
Yeah, hit us up. Or y'all can follow us. We haven't done a call to action in a while. Please, y'all, subscribe to our channel. Check us out on subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We on YouTube.
Yeah.
Spotify, Anchor FM, which is the same thing, right?
Right.
We on Instagram. You can follow us. Trap in with gods.
Yep.
And same on TikTok.
Yep. That's it.
All right.
Peace. Don't forget to send us that email.
Peace.